insert whatever it is you're looking for here, because that's the conversations that we're going to have with them. That's the language that we want to be able to speak. So the key right now is to follow, for the band members, follow the engaged fans of the bands and artists that you feel already have your following. One of the questions that I'll ask my management clients is I'll say, in a perfect world, if you had a chance to open up for this particular artist, whose fans do you feel would really dig with your vibe right now? So then they'll go ahead and they'll write those down. I said, great. So now that we found those, we want to go get involved in the conversation. The biggest mistake that most folks make right now is that they just show up to a brand new platform unannounced. Watch my video, tell me what you think. Hey, go follow me over on this, or go do this, or go do that. And it's like, dude, we don't even know you yet. You know, let's pump the brakes for a second. Let's kind of go back to what social was used for. Social was used so friends could stay in communication with each other. MySpace, you know, a lot of you that know my story know that I was blessed to have helped launch the career of Taylor Swift. When we first started, we just had MySpace. But there was a group of people having a conversation. She went and got involved in the conversation. She started asking questions. She started listening. She started writing the stories of their lives, and the rest is kind of history at that point. So we want to go get involved with the conversations. The engaged fans, the best way to find them, they're the ones that are leaving the relevant comments. I'm going to show you an example here in a second. Okay, so there's this thing called engagement groups. Has anybody heard of engagement groups? So engagement groups, you can pay people to engage, but you'll usually know them because they're all the ones with the fist emojis, or it just says lit or fire and a muscle. You know, it's like they don't bring anything to the conversation, but they're just doing this stuff. Well, just so you guys know, Algorithm, he's like the smartest dude on the internet. Algorithm, I want to make a shirt that says that. Got it? So what Al has decided was he's looking for sentences. He's looking for more than 4 words to kind of count that towards engagement. Because here's what happened. There was this little dude named Justin Bieber, and Justin went on YouTube, and he got 1 million views, and he got signed to a record deal. So all these record companies went around having people look for the next batch of kids that had 1 million views, and they all signed them to record labels. And then they all put out music on these kids, and they sold a couple hundred records, and then those kids get dropped. Because followers do not equal fans. What we've learned now, so then all these influencers came along and said, hey, these brands will pay us if we have so much engagement and so many likes and so many this. So all of a sudden they went and started buying likes and buying these engagement groups, and then they would do promotions for these brands, and the brands would fail, and they're like, damn it. So everybody's out there trying to jump the system. Everybody's out there trying to be something that they're not. And people caught on to it. And if you think about it too, do you like being duped? No, neither do they. You know, do you want to follow somebody whoever, okay, don't raise your hands, but how many of you have that person in your life that when they show up, you know they need something because that's the only time they show up? We all have that person. When your phone rings, you can look at it and go, we know whether we want to have that conversation with that person or not. The internet's no different. So if all you're doing is being that person that just shows up when they need stuff, or is constantly telling them how great you are, who loves that person that shows up in our lives all the time to remind us how great their life is and how shit ours is? That's what Instagram is. It's a bunch of people trying to impress people that they don't even like. It's the weirdest thing. So find the folks that are leaving the relevant comments. Find the people that are sharing the post. That's gold right now. That's that seal of approval. A lot of artists will come to me and they're like, Rick, I keep putting out my music and no one's sharing it. I said, maybe the songs aren't that good yet. And that's their polite way of saying they're not willing to put their stamp of approval on it. Because that's what a share does. A share goes and tells all your friends, hey, I like this. This is something I think you should look at. Hey, I saw this cool movie. You should go check it out. It's the same kind of situation with a share. They're just basically validating you in their world. Likes do not count as engagement. Matter of fact, Instagram in certain countries isn't letting you see the likes anymore because what they saw was that everybody would scroll, and if they saw 400 hearts, they would just heart it. And if they liked, they wouldn't even look at it. They wouldn't even listen to it. They just liked it. Why? Because everybody else liked it. Jump off the bridge thing, you know. So they're so like, you know what? Let's back this thing up a bit. Let's start hiding the likes. And let's see if it still gets the same kind of engagement. We haven't seen that first batch of numbers out yet to see, but I imagine it's going to be much lower. So over here is Ariana Grande's Instagram page. So if you notice, the best rap news is on my story. Engaged, not engaged. Relevant, not relevant to that post. Then we're not going to follow whoever that is, okay? But what we're and those 18 replies were people saying, get the F off of Ariana's page. Quit trying to promote yourself. I love you the most. Your energy. Thank you for this precious song. These are the people that we want to go open up that conversation, take a look at what they do, hit a follow, say something nice about something you saw on their page. Do not bring up what you do on this first date. We're going to date, okay? Well, on the first date, we're not going to say anything because here's the thing is if you keep showing up in the conversation, so I'll go on to quite a few different Facebook groups where they're asking music questions, and I'll answer. I don't say, here's my social link. I'm doing a webinar on Friday night. I just go and answer questions because here's the cool part. When they see, wow, this guy keeps showing up answering my questions, and they click on my name and they go into my bio because I've set it up properly, they'll know who I am. They'll know what I do. They'll now have an opportunity to carry that conversation on. Now it becomes their idea. It's a whole lot easier to sell somebody when it's their idea and not just our idea. Because ultimately, here's the thing. We're all selling. Everybody raise their hand. Repeat after me. I am a digital marketer. Okay? Whether you like marketing or not, you are a digital marketer. That's the space that you have to play in right now. So what we want to do is just learn how to play by the rules. And the rules are do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Goes back to the Bible. Not here to put the Bible on anybody, but that's the rule I like to live by. Here we go. Chance the Rapper. So this is his Twitter platform. So over here, those are your comments. 127 people left a comment. That's real good engagement. 442 people shared it with their friends. So this is always going to be lower because it takes a lot of work to get in there and start talking. But when you find them, that's your money right there. Anybody can like. 11,000 people liked. So what we do is you click over here. It's going to open it up. And it will already tell you if you're following people or not following people. So you can just go in and follow, see what you like, play around with it. But this is how you find the engaged on Twitter and the engaged on Instagram. Everybody cool with that before we go on? Okay. Don't be that guy. We've all done it at least once, tried to go in and score a little bit too early. That's the best analogy I got. I apologize. Just don't be that guy, okay? Or girl. Not everyone's as excited about your music as you are. Okay. You put all this time, you put all this energy, and now you want the world to know about it. We're not quite there yet. Okay? We've all done. I'm the guilt. I'm teaching you guys everything that I did. I'm the guy that went out. This was years ago. Some of you are old enough to remember it, but when Twitter first came out, you could buy bunches of followers and share them, and you could just punch in anybody's username and buy them followers. So I thought I'd be cool and buy all my friends 10,000 followers on Twitter. So when they woke up the next day, they'd say, man, I'm so popular. And I didn't realize I was just buying a bunch of fake stuff for them, and then it took us forever to kind of clear them out. But yeah, all these things I've done. I make mistakes like this stuff all the time. Okay, so here we go. These are the platforms that I like to focus on. Yes, there's TikTok. Yes, there's Snapchat. Yes, there's a whole bunch of other things. You can reach the people you need to reach. I'm talking about fans, not a bunch of young kids that want to be famous. Here's the thing. I don't care if you're a good-looking chick or an ugly chick, you can have access on TikTok. Have you looked at some of the stuff that they promote? I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Since everybody keeps asking me about it, so I was spending a little time on there last night. And there's this one lady that is an awesome singer, and she's handicapped in some way. I don't know what it is, but everybody likes her stuff. So she's the only one that shows up. And then you get this next kid who can't sing forever, but everybody likes his stuff because the world's cruel. And that's the stuff that they're feeding me. I'm like, no, we can go find true music fans in these platforms. Even though YouTube's not a social platform, we're going to kind of treat it like that right now. And we'll talk about each of them real quick. On Instagram, it's all about images and videos. Okay, images and videos. It's a visual mark. So what we're trying to do is catch the attention. So everybody think for a second, how do you use your socials. We're just one finger in it. We're just kind of cruising up. If we see something that looks too sexy, it's trying to sell me something. I'm just going to kind of keep rolling. I'm going to keep rolling. So what we're trying to do is stick out. So that's why this stuff works. Whether you like it or not, it stands out. The walking, talking videos are doing really well right now. A lot of times, too, by the time something catches on and we all start doing it, it's kind of too late at that point. Like the memes, the box videos. For a long time in the marketing world, it was the dry erase hand that just drew everything that came across. Logan, I have no idea. I apologize. It's just my heart beating for you, bro. No, I didn't punch it. No, I would. It's not my first rodeo with a microphone. I just don't know. And it's mine, too, which is weird. It's all hot. So the thing that we want to remember to do is that if everybody else is doing it, we're not going to stand out. The whole point is standing out above the noise right now. I'm going to show you something here in a second that's done wonders for me. Make sure to utilize the stories. So Instagram is the only social platform at this moment that will notify every single one of your followers when you go live. You ever been, so if we go to Instagram right now, and I'm on the home page, it just says DJ Race started a live video. Wow. I've got 7,500 followers. I'm following the max that I can follow. It just told me what was happening. So I'll plug my phone in a little bit, but if you see across the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 4 people that are going live. They put all 4 of those people to the front of my list that said, Rick, these are the people you need to pay attention to. That's powerful. I don't know if you guys realize that whenever, because everybody's on Instagram like this. Facebook, it's kind of like the appointment social. I'll check it before work. I'll check it at lunch. I'll check it at dinner. My wife will read it before bed and then wonder why she can't fall asleep. But when it's going to let you know somebody else just started a live, it just kind of pushed them to the top of the list, move somebody else. These will disappear in 24 hours. People still like things that disappear. There's that FOMO, fear of missing out. It's a real good opportunity for you to go in and start having conversations with your community. I'm not going to go into detail. There's some really cool stuff you can do right now with stories that is great, and Instagram Lives. We can build relationships, like I say, in real time. So ultimately, there's a couple guys here who run Facebook ads. And one of the things that we do is we're always trying to find, we call them our lookalike audiences. It's like, what's your name? K Fox. RB, what's up? No, just kidding. So she gave a wink in the front. I had to give a wink back. I'm going to throw it. I mean, I'm old, but I got game. Be like, old man game. It's like a second ago, I just did my TikTok. You know, we did our dance, and it was cool. And I'm trying to log back in, and it said age. And then I had to keep scrolling to kind of get to my year, and I was afraid it was going to stop and go too damn old. You know, it was like, thought that was coming from TikTok. But so what it is that we're looking for lookalike audiences. So, for example, everyone who's purchased something from me, I have this list. It's called the buyer's list. So the buyer's list, I upload that into Facebook. And Facebook, we say, okay, Facebook, go find me people that are just like that to different degrees. We're not going to go into a whole Facebook course. So it's going out trying to find like people like you. So if you bought my stuff, I want to find more people like you. Who here tends to hang out with people that are like them? Pretty much fair to say most folks? Okay. When you bring someone on live with you during an Instagram story or an Instagram live, now their followers get notified that they're live. So think about it if I'm an artist. I'll just use my example. So I come on, I bring Jeremy on. So Jeremy and I are talking, and then I'll look and I'll see the numbers start going up. Why? Because I had my people there that kind of Instagram knew. Now you'll see the numbers jump. So it's like, oh, and then some people will go, who is this? And I'll say, oh, hey guys, I'm Rick. I'm a friend of Jeremy's. You know, we're both in the music space, blah, 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 blah. Now I just get a chance to meet other people who like his stuff. So now there's a chance that I may pick up one of those folks. So if you're talking to your fans and you're getting ready to go do a show in that town, how cool would it be to say, oh yeah, you know, I'm just sitting here right now, and you know, I've got a show coming up, and Stephanie, right? Stephanie's already got a ticket to the show. Can't wait to see her. Hey guys, there are still some tickets left if you want a chance to come. Now I get a chance to tell Stephanie's friends about this. That's why I love Instagram Live. I'll go on an hour every day, and I'll make a couple $100 because what I do is I go in and answer people's questions about stuff like this, And then somebody would go, dude, do you have a course? I'm like, yes, I do. And type it in. Hey, they brought it up. Sometimes it's my wife in the living room. Hey, do you have a course? Yeah, no, just kidding. Hey, whatever we got to do, right? Yeah, here we go. So use your link wisely. You really only get one right in your profile. Some people will use a link tree or a place to send them elsewhere. A lot of times what we're doing right now, what I'm instructing people that I work with is have a separate page on your website, so like rickbarker.com/Instagram or whatever, and it can have all the links, because then when they come there, we can put a cookie on them and get all technical with them, but we can go figure out who's been there and then have different conversations with them down the road. I'm right now, like all my YouTube videos, we're also putting on my website, so when I tell people, hey, go check out my YouTube video, I give a link to my website where they can do it, because I've embedded the YouTube player, so I get a cookie on them to be able to have a conversation with them later. I get the stream credit because they played it from the embed player on YouTube. So it's a win-win for me and YouTube. YouTube's getting their glory, but also, too, is I get to kind of control what's going on. By the way, I had my first viral video this week, so almost 70,000 views in 7 days. And I wasn't naked. It's not a sex tape. It's nothing like that. I'll show it to you guys here. See, I said naked, and I just run them off. He's like, I got to go puke. I'll be right back. Minimum one post daily, one story. You know, I mean, it's like if you want minimum results, do minimal work. But the thing is right now is that even a lot of the bigger influencers and stuff, they're not doing every day, multiple times a day like they used to on the feed, because everyone's living in the stories. And the stories, like I said, if it's going to pop up throughout the day, what I like to do too, I'll show you this here in a second. Use the hashtags, but don't get stupid with the hashtags. It's like, make it relevant. They've kind of caught on. It's like all the tricks that, here's the thing, marketers screwed everything up. It's like whenever something comes along, marketer will grab it and just rip it up, and it'll be bad. So make sure that you're using your tags wisely. Is everyone familiar with what a hashtag is? Okay, if you're not, let me just share the best example. The internet is the mall, and hashtags are the stores in the mall. Okay, so we all go to the Opry Mills, and it's this big-ass mall, just like the internet. But when we want to go to Nike, we go to Nike. When we want to go to Polo, we go to Polo. When we want to, well, I guess I don't know how long they're going to be in business, but Victoria's Secrets, we go to Victoria's Secrets. I guess they just sold. But all the hashtags are is that all your conversations are taking place. So if you're just trying to throw hashtags out there to throw hashtags and your stuff shows up and it doesn't bring value, they'll bump you out, because Instagram wants you to stay on long enough to see an ad. Facebook wants you to stay on long enough to see an ad. That's their whole job, is to get us. It's like, who woke up and said, I'm going to go on Facebook and go shopping today? Billions of dollars every day. But that's what happens. So what are they going to do? They're going to reward you by providing good enough content that keeps people on your site long enough. That's how you're going to beat algorithm. All right. So respond to the comments. Was talking earlier about Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary had a book a few years ago called The Thank You Economy. And the Thank You Economy basically said, let's go back to Old Town. Like, what's your name? Elise. Okay, good to see you in person finally and not just a little thumbnail. Okay, and your name? Keys? Okay, so did I say it right? Keys. Keys and Elise. Okay, so if Keys and Elise, you two screwed me. Okay, if Keys and Elise are having a conversation and all of a sudden Keith goes, oh my gosh, I love your hair. And I'm the hairstylist. Okay, and I'm eavesdropping in on this conversation. Do you think I'm going to, on my way out of this restaurant that we're all at, make my way to the table to say hello to my client and let you know that I'm the one who cut her hair? I'm smart, right? Yeah, so the same kind of thing is like when you hear all these different conversations that are going on, get involved in those conversations. If somebody, what's your name? Audrey, you have pretty eyes. No, don't say anything. Don't say anything. How weird would that be, though, if I gave you a compliment and you didn't say anything? See how weird that is? You have pretty eyes. When someone says, I loved your song, and you don't say anything, it's like this conversation that we just had, which made her really uncomfortable. So that's what you've got to understand is that if people are taking, remember we went back, the engage, those people, if people are taking the time out to say something nice about you, by the way, it doesn't even have to be you. At some point, hopefully you're going to be big enough where people are going to go in. It's like I have two people right now that monitor the comments, and they'll say, hey, I need you to answer to this one, this one, this one, this one. They can all go say, thank you, appreciate it. You can have a virtual assistant in the middle of the night in the Philippines somewhere doing that while you sleep. But there's other ones that you're going to want to have a conversation with, because I'll show you in a second how valuable that can be. So everybody cool on the Instagram? We'll move on? All right, cool. All right, Facebook. Live video is the most effective. So right now, you will no longer, none of us, period, doesn't matter how big your following is, the percentage of people that you're able to get to view right now is just going to be close to nothing. The whole reason that I'm on Facebook is so when I get discovered. Not hoping to go out and find new people. It's just so, who watches American Idol or The Voice or any of those shows? Nobody. Great. You're saving a lot of time. Okay, well, for those people that do, what happens is I always call them, they're like game shows for 50-year-old women. Those folks probably aren't hanging out on Instagram. So let's say they discovered you there. Let's say somebody heard you and was blessed enough to be able to know that that was you on a Spotify playlist. Let's say however someone discovers you, they're going to search you out on their weapon of choice. Not necessarily where we want to find them. All the time I'll hear people go, oh, dude, you got my Facebook page. I'm never there. Well, if I found you for the first time and I went to your Facebook page and I saw that you hadn't been there in 3 months, is there a reason for me to like you, follow you, or want to interact with you? Correct. So that's why we schedule out these posts at various times throughout the day, so that if someone does happen to find you, because what you could do is they're only going to come, by the way, to your Facebook page once. That's when they find you. Remember, we watch Facebook through our Facebook page. We watch Instagram through our Instagram page. We watch Twitter. We're not jumping all over the page. We're just in the finger world, man. We're just scrolling. So what we want to do is take advantage of the fact that on Facebook, you could pin a video at the top that just says, hey, it's Elise. Glad you found me, by the way. Instagram's my jam. Here's a link. Put a link in there at this point, because we know Facebook's not going to share it anyway. So use that real estate, pin it to the top, so when they find it, they know how to go find you. Everybody kind of cool on that one? Okay. Live video just means that people will stick around longer. This video is going to be live for however long it is that I'm here. You're going to see the numbers grow. Most of your views on a live video will come on the replay. So if you're going to try to use live video to do music, don't sit there and go, let me wait till some people get here. You just told the person who showed you earlier that you're not worth the crap, that nobody showed up for you. Start singing. Get that first song out of the way, and then start talking to people. As people come on, if you're good enough, acknowledge them and things like that. But you got to remember, most of it comes on the replay. Yes, sir. Yeah, it really depends on you and your audience. So in the beginning, let's say you're going to go live and you're going to play music. I would start with like 3-4 songs max, that 10 to 12 minute range. Because here's what happens too. If I'm scrolling, let's go back to this. So let's say that Elise puts up her new video, and it's 3.5 minutes, and she puts it in there, and it looks all good, but I don't know her. So I got 15 minutes for lunch. That's all I got. Okay, so I'm going to go in and see what my aunts are doing, my cousins are doing, my brothers are doing. I don't know that I'm going to give Elise 3.5 minutes because I don't know her. So I'm going to kind of keep scrolling. So that's why when I taught that presentation at the DIY Musician Conference, I said Facebook ads for $1 a day. We were doing 40-second long videos first, and then we would say, okay, who watched 50% of that video? So we had Maddie doing Post Malone covers. So I had this beautiful redhead with an acoustic guitar singing Post Malone. So they're like, ooh, that kind of caught people's attention. So they would go down, they would take a look at that, and then we would say, okay, who watched at least 50% of the video? Well, 50 is only 20 seconds, but guess what? The average watch time on videos is about 3 to 6. So at least we got them to do half. So then the next video was 1.5 minutes. So I said, okay, Facebook, show this next video only to people who watch 50% of this one. And this is something that Jeremy's been doing for a long time. It's like we're just kind of taking them down a road. But what I'm training them to do right now is I need them to get past 31. Because at 31, you get paid. Okay, so what I did first, I said, okay, 40-second video, 40 seconds, if it looks good or something's happening, you can go in and check that out. So everybody who watched 20, let's go show them this 1.5 minute video. Then we go and say, okay, who watched half of the minute and a half? Because now we've been paid. Okay, now we know we're training that person. So then we take them to your full-length video after that, and then maybe we try to get them to Spotify. But it's dating. It's that progression. A lot of times if you want video views, you can go get video views, but all that Facebook's saying is, okay, we'll show it to people that push. Kids push everything. So we try to tighten it up a little bit. Like I said, that's a whole presentation in itself that he can do better than I can. But I'm just saying that this is one of those things that you need to start thinking like this. We're training the audience. News to everyone. No one has to pay to consume your product. How sucky is that? Well, how many businesses would survive? Think about it. None. Right. So what are they, when they're going to give you money, they're investing in the relationship. So we're going to do everything we can to build that relationship. Okay, so native post, what native means is you upload it directly into Facebook. You're not using Facebook to try to grow your YouTube channel. You're not using Facebook to try to send them to Twitter. You're doing what Facebook wants so you can get as much traction as you can, because here's the bottom line. I don't sell on Facebook. I sell through Facebook ads. I'm using Facebook to provide some kind of value that I can ultimately put some money towards later to pull this off. No links for best results, but here's one thing we have learned. See, Facebook's whole job is to keep you on their platform. So if you try to send them to YouTube, they're not going to say, hey, go over there and shop with Google, because Google is who owns YouTube, so it's Google ads. So no links for best results, but if you are going live, they haven't really penalized us that much. It's kind of a give or take at that point. And if you plan on boosting the post later, throw all the links you want in there, because you're going to pay for it to get in front of the right audience. Take advantage of all the different options. You know, Facebook now has that video option in the banner. They have the watch. You can send people to your website. You can send them to a video. Heck, your About section right now looks like a LinkedIn blog. I mean, it's some really cool stuff that's there. Also, too, is they have a new feature called Creator Studio. So it used to be you'd see all your insights and all your analytics. Now it's in Creator Studio. They're now letting you schedule your post in there for Facebook, Instagram feed, and IGTV. You can schedule out your IGTVs. IGTV's perfect for those perfectionist artists that everything has to be perfect. You can upload a video on IGTV, and then you can share it on your feed and inside your stories. You should be doing that multiple times a day. Minimum of once a day. I do 3 a day right now just because we schedule them up. I teach the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Give them something for breakfast, give them something for lunch, give them something for dinner. Just on this platform, they're all scheduled out so that if somebody happens to find me, I got a chance to send them to my best stuff. Respond to all comments. Once again, the more activity you see, that's what they're looking for, is the best. Twitter, images and GIFs work really well. Once again, it's flying so fast that it's hard to see. You want to be able to stick out. Retweet with comments. Twitter is the one that limits the characters on what you can put inside your post. So if you retweet with comments, you can double up what's being said inside of there. Follow back the most engaged. Show you how to look at that earlier. Very link friendly. Use Twitter to send people to your YouTube. Send people to your iTunes. Send people. Go in there, grab the link, post it in your Twitter, clean it up a little bit. A lot of times when you share, it doesn't look real pretty, so you can sexy it up a little bit. Utilize the hashtags. Hashtags on Twitter are not the same as Instagram or Facebook. I don't like sharing across all platforms if you're using hashtags, because they don't translate all the way across. And a lot of times, too, you know, I'm at Rick Barker Music at most of my socials, but my public figure page is the Music Industry Blueprint on Facebook. So if you're trying to get me to notice it and you tag me across Instagram to Facebook, I would never see it. So make sure that we're speaking all the different languages there. Check notifications. That's the little bell at the bottom. And then you can see mentions. You can see everyone who's mentioned you. Make sure that you're going out and giving them a little love and appreciation and thank yous. And there's a little email looking icon at the bottom right of that if somebody's left you a message. Before I continue, any questions? Anybody have any questions whatsoever? We're good? Kind of under, yes ma'am, Zelda. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, so here's the cool part now. Is you guys could shoot everything this way. It's now being adjusted for you, especially if you're running ads. You can all shoot it in landscape. If you do it like this for Facebook, it cuts everything off because this is an Instagram platform, the vertical and then horizontal. So horizontal now, when running ads, if you're going to run ads, shoot everything this way and it'll crop it out for you. It used to be you had to shoot one for Facebook ad, this way for an Instagram ad. They're like, no, we need your money. We'll make it real easy. And now they fixed it out. So that's how you do that. There was another question over here. Yes. No, I wouldn't retweet every comment, but when you do retweet, I would retweet with comments. So it's like if somebody shows a picture and they just got my book or whatever, and they go, oh, thank you, Rick, I got your book. Hey, so glad you liked it. You know, let me know more about it. I'm able to just carry on and make that conversation extend a little bit so that when they go see their notifications, they're going to be notified about it. Also, YouTube, it's a search engine. That's why your original songs are not going to do as well as your cover videos. It doesn't mean your original songs suck. It just means nobody's there typing your name in yet. Okay, so what you do is you use YouTube properly. You find something that's why we like cover songs there, because that's what people are searching for. Title is very important. Title is what people are typing in a lot of times, so get the title in. So having your name first is probably not the best thing. It's probably the song, the artist, acoustic cover, then me. Okay? Use the description box. That's a whole lot of free real estate that's available to you. It's link friendly. You can click around, make sure people know how to get you if you're doing cover songs. One of the strategies as well that we've been working on is just cut and paste the lyrics of the song and post that inside there as well, because a lot of times people won't remember the name of the song, but they'll remember the hook or something of the song. So whatever, they give you tons of real estate to use. Use proper tags. There's a couple cool apps that do that stuff for you now. Minimum once a week. The reason why, the only people that are notified when you upload is the people who follow you. Okay? So that's what's going on there with YouTube, and post music every day. Every day. You can turn your social media platforms into your own radio station. Okay? I'll show you how. So this is one of my clients' council band. So over here, you see their song, Rust to Gold. So you click on those three little dots to the right, and it's going to open it up, and you're going to go down, and you're going to click Share. When you click on that Share, only from your phone, by the way. This isn't going to work on computer. You're going to see Instagram stories. Well, we just said that there were 600 million active daily users there on Instagram stories. And when we post to Instagram stories, the little circle shows up. May not be the live, but the next best thing is the little circle shows. And then that's how it's going to open up. And now you can add your fun little stuff to it. And then when you're done and it's posted, if you see up here at the top under your story, it says play on Spotify. As soon as they play on Spotify, they're now on Spotify's platform. They listen to 31 seconds, you get paid. So you can actually theoretically get paid every day. So if you've got multiple songs, share them multiple times. Whatever it is that you have, it's like if a lot of people will come to me and they'll go, man, I can't believe that radio station hasn't played my song yet. And I'm like, great, did you play your song today? If you're not going to play your own music, you know, you've got the tools. You've got the ability to do all that stuff. So some of the creative tools that we like to use, and then I'm going to end this here, is Canva. I call it Photoshop for Dummies. Yes, ma'am. I have an answer, I hope. Well, no, they're going to, once they hit that top button, it's going to open up at the Spotify page. It's not playing that song on Instagram. It's taking you to Spotify. No, they want people coming to their platform and you're sending them there. Yeah, it's not like where they have those, what's that, hon? No, you're just sharing your music. I mean, I share other people's music all the time. It's like, Jeremy, go ahead. Yes, but that's completely different because there is no IP address from Instagram. It doesn't say that it came from your Instagram page. Yeah, on the computers, yes, because that's what people would do. And bands were telling their fans, leave your phone on at night when you go to sleep on repeat and shuffle, you know? And then those companies started doing all this. And then it's like, yeah, and there's this word that I don't care what anybody believes. Karma's a bitch, man. It's like if you're trying to screw the system, and it's like if you're trying to, let's say this for example, and I'm just going to be as respectful as I can. Let's say you're trying to get the attention of a record company. So you're out buying followers, and you're buying likes, and you're making yourself look more impressive than you really are, and then they come and get involved and put all this money behind you, and you release a record, and nobody buys it. It's happened. That's why right now people don't give a shit how many followers you have. They don't care how many likes you have because that can be bought. They want to see the engagement. They want to see your ticket sales. They want to see your streaming numbers can be bought right now. So they're going to go, oh, you've got 1 million listens on here, but you got 34 people that have subscribed. Bullshit. That's all. It's just a bullshit detector. That's all it is. It just kind of lights it up and says this is what it is. And that's the thing right now is that it's like... Is that the business that you want to have? You know what I mean? It's like you want these fans to think, it's like, so that's why I try for my world, I repel people that want to be famous. There's no cure, there's no magic pill for that. I can't teach that. It's like everything has to line up, but also too, there's people that are famous for the wrong reasons. So that's how kind of we roll. So there's that. Typorama is a cool little app. There's all kinds of apps you can do. And then that's all I'm going to cover on that part real quick. So let me show you something here real quick. Where did we go with? Wait, I'm 53 years old. I need my glasses. I'm an old man. Okay, so I'll show you my viral video. Okay, so the other night, my daughter called and she's like, Dad, I saw your head on the Taylor video. I'm like, oh, cool. I made it, you know, in one of the meet and greet lines where we're kind of rushing people through. So I went and I watched the documentary, and I was just blown away. Because the thing about Taylor is she loves when people talk smack. Most artists hate it. They freak out. They would never share that with anybody. But that documentary was like, she's a scoundrel, she's this, she's that, she's only doing it for this, she's only doing it for that. And I'm like, damn, they don't even know her. You know, it's like she was doing that before there was paparazzi. She was doing that before Kanye. She was doing that before a lot of this stuff. So I went and I shot this video. And right now it's got, where did it go? 69,000 views in 1 week. Almost 400 comments. So all we did was remember I said the title's very important? The truth about Taylor Swift. I had some people in the comments that were like, this better not be one of those people bashing, but no, everybody's loving on what I'm sharing. 2 issues with that. I don't want to be the ultimate source, everything Taylor Swift. So people are like, dude, you were so great. I'm going to subscribe to you because you're my all person now knowing Taylor Swift. And I'm like, no, unsubscribe. I don't want you. But it's called top of funnel. Okay, we're talking, Mark. Can you stop talking while I'm talking, please? Hey, real quick. Yeah, you're disrupting. We're all talking. Yeah, so keep it to yourself. Excuse me? Yeah, So when we go top of funnel means we're going to cast the widest net possible. So out of these 69,157 views, if we go in and look at the analytics, and now I'm just going to pull back the curtain for you here, we have since published 70,000 views, 58,000 unique views. I can guarantee you that maybe 1% of those people want to be Taylor Swift. Most of them are just fans. They're happy I talked about her. They shared it with their friends. Look, he said nice things. Go listen to him. You know, all this kind of stuff. So this is top of funnel. I just got a whole bunch of people. What this did is it up some subscribers. It made me top of mind where people would go back and watch some of my other videos. So what I did was I took this video in its native form and I uploaded it directly into Facebook. And I put, attention singers, songwriters, musicians. Holy crap, I had my first viral video, over 50,000 views in less than a week. Now I'm going to go in and edit it because now it's up to 70,000. And now I can run an ad to musicians, singers, songwriters, musicians. So I can take a piece of social proof that kind of makes me unique and different, but also now will cap the right audience that I want to see. So a lot of times, it doesn't always have to be about your music. It can be, all I was doing was sharing some stories that no one had ever told, that only I could tell. Kind of crossing my fingers I wouldn't get sued, you know, I wouldn't be getting this, but it wasn't anything, I mean, I just shared some really heartfelt stories. I mean, people were like, dude, you're a brilliant storyteller. I was crying during the last story. Oh my gosh, thanks for this. And I'm like, great. So last week, when we go back to home, so no pun intended, nobody get that but me? All right, okay, cool, all right, just checking. So then if we go back and we look at the dashboard again, we go to the videos. So if we go to the videos, how to book live shows as an independent artist, 532 views, 434 views. I got some that have 1,000, some that have whatever, and then this one, 70,000. But that's okay, because I keep putting out the content so that when the right people find it, because that's the thing, guys, we don't need everybody to be successful. We need the right people. Too often we get freaked out because we don't have these great numbers. No, these 532 people, you know how many, when I do my podcast, I do my podcast every Monday, and all of a sudden I'll look and I'll go, man, I had like 75 people this week download a digital free copy I give of my book. That's 75 email addresses that I got because I spent the time to do a 10-minute podcast. So I want to encourage you, don't get down on yourself when you don't see these magic big-ass numbers right away. It used to be, that was common for people on YouTube when it was the only video platform, but now every platform has video. That's why everyone's numbers went down. So what I want you to just remember is that you're going to do things that are going to, one, I always think if you can make them laugh, make them cry. If they cry, they buy, by the way. Sing those ballads, send them to the merch table. That song's, on my latest CD. I have a T-shirt about that song. If you see them crying, have something they can buy. So they cry, they buy. So that's kind of on the YouTube side, is that you really want, so what do you think in that video was the hook? I'm going to talk right now a little bit. Are we good with all this stuff? Anybody have any questions? And in a second, I want to look at some of your stuff if you guys want me to take a look at it and just get an opinion. And we're all friends here. No one's going to judge anyone. It's like being at a Weight Watchers meeting. We're all there for the same reasons. Some are just getting along better than others, but we're all friends, right? So what was the hook of that video? The truth about Taylor Swift. Boom, got their attention. So when I talk about hook, it's not the hook of your song. It's the hook of whatever's going to get their attention to stop to see what you got next. Does that make sense? So if I've got a video of myself and it says, everything you need to know about social media, that sounds like work. Sounds like, I don't have time for that today. They're going to scroll by. But if it said, drug addiction, homelessness, incarceration launched one of the biggest music stars in the world. Pretty good hook, right? Okay, so that's my story. Okay, I went from living homeless on the street, strung out on crack, to launching Taylor Swift. So I always tell people, I'm a perfect example. Your past does not define your future. So now that I've got now that I've hooked them, now I give them the story. Now I tell them a little bit about the story. Now I got them. Now I make the offer. The offer may be to go get something for free. The offer may be to come watch a webinar. The offer, whatever the offer is, but it goes in this order: hook, story, offer. So let's create a hook, story, offer for a musician. Okay, so who's got a song that's out right now that we would like to use for an example with this? I'm going to try my best. Yes, ma'am. Okay, Love. So obviously it's about love, but that's not hooky yet. So what caused you to write that song about love? Owning my womanhood. Okay, that's a kind of a hook for, not me, but you know, it's like, not today. Yes, yeah. So, so you want to come up with some cool hook, and the cool part is, for those of you, Martin Sutton, Songwriting Academy from London, he flew in tonight. He actually did an event here last May. That was great. So Martin, you're a words guy with me too. So if we're trying to create something short with a hook about owning your womanhood, think about that, ladies, for a second. That's kind of our hook. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So if we're scrolling down, it could also be an image. Remember, we have visual hooks. Tom Jackson says it the best. We hear with our eyes. So something's good. It can either be a visual hook, it could be a word hook, it should also be in the words. So if you've got something, is anybody familiar with a guy by the name of Prince E.A.? If not, you need to follow his ass on YouTube. So he's the best. Oh, here, we'll just do this. So he's the best at getting people's attention. And one of the things I was thinking of for my hook was to be sitting in a chair with handcuffs on. Maybe like some orange scrubs that look like jumpsuit or something, you know, with this. As a musician, do you feel like you're handcuffed? As a musician, do you feel like you're in jail? You know, something to get that visual and that, let me show you how to break the chains kind of thing. Prince E.A. did this one, and I'll put my microphone down there so you can hear it. Here's my favorite one that he did. Where's it at? This was Stop Wasting Your Life. There's going to be an ad first because he's monetizing. Those prices are good for today only. Bring the price down a couple thousand. I can talk to them.
Finish school, then I'll be happy. Finish school.
What's that? Oh, people right now are stopping this stuff right in the middle.
Do you know what day of the week you are most likely to die from a heart attack?
Get the coffee. They're pouring in their IV. How cool is it? You see what I'm saying? It's like,
Take a look at this chart.
so he puts so much into his videos, but they just kind of go nuts. So I started thinking about that for myself. It's like, I'm not going to go dress in scrubs and be in a hospital and spend, but what can I do visually? It could just be a photograph. It could be something visually that gets people's attention. And then that headline, that hook, needs to go with whatever this image is. So if you did one on owning your womanhood, you know, like right now, shit, that's what everybody's talking about for women. The whole Me Too thing, you know, that hashtag's played out, so I wouldn't go there, but I would go, are you something? The questions are always really good. My name is so-and-so, and this is what caused me to write this. That's your story. Your offer is click here to play it on Spotify. It's not really like to try to sell them anything right now. The offer may be just to get them to watch the video so that we can remarket to them later. It's like we're so concerned. It's like right now, I mean, to get email addresses as for an artist, all those artists that never learned email marketing just kind of screwed it for all you guys. It's like, hey, sign up for my newsletter. None of you are reporters. You know, there's nothing to report. All you're going to do is report about yourself. So people stop giving that. One of the things that we're doing right now that we're experimenting with is starting Facebook groups so that you can have better conversations with the artists and you say, hey, by the way, I really appreciate you're supporting me and I've created this special community, I'd love to send you an invite. DM me where you would like me to send it. Basically, I just said, give me your frickin' email address so I can send you this link to this group that I just created, but we don't say it. Like that, you have something special, unique. That's what's going to make all of you guys stand out in this crowded space, is you have to be the ones to break above the noise. Don't do what everybody else is doing. Don't try to do, it's like we were talking earlier, it's like everybody chased Vine because of Shawn Mendes, and everybody chased YouTube because of Justin Bieber, and everybody's chasing TikTok because of Lil Nas X. None of you saw the struggle that went in before you saw who Justin Bieber was, or Shawn Mendes, or Lil Nas. You didn't see all the failures. The key for all of you is you got to fail and fail fast. That's the key to all of it. It's like, go find your audience. I don't care how good your steak is. If you go into a town and it's all vegans, they're not going to consume your steak. And too often we're trying to feed stuff to everyone. And everyone doesn't want it. Everyone doesn't need it. And right now, it's like if you can figure out a way to make 50 grand doing what you love, you're making more than a lot of people doing what they hate. So you just got to figure out what, success means to you and things like that. So does anybody want us to take a look at their socials and give some advice? Or does anybody have, this is your time. I want you to question, or what do you want me to do? Okay, what's your Instagram? 1 second. Instagram, and then I'm going to plug in my phone here in a second and give. What's the name on it? Digm. Okay, Paradiim. This? Okay. Okay, so right now, welcome, glad you found me. I'm Paradigm and I make hip hop music. It's perfect. People know that you make music. Okay, so that's great there. Open to, now you're sending them to Spotify. I wouldn't. I would send them to your website, because now Spotify gets to determine the rest of their journey that day instead of you. So all of you have the ability to put a Spotify player on your website if you want. This goes back to why we want to send them to stuff that we own, because we want to control the conversation. You're welcome. So who else has an Instagram? Okay. I can. Spell it for me. Okay. Lina? S. Lins. There she is. Okay. So now, radio personality, community activist, creator of #Fashion Through Lens podcast, adventurous, and you send them to an event thing that you have. Trap, that's your thing, right? Trap XR. Okay. So you control this. Trapxart.com events. Got it. So what I would do is I would still send them to your website once again, and I would have a thing that kind of says events. Go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but that doesn't tell me that. I don't want to go to your event yet. I don't know you. I just met you. I know nothing about your event. I know nothing. Do you see what I'm saying? So we want to still bring them into our world, so then when they come to your website, now you could run an ad to everybody who's come to your website in the last however many days you want to choose that are from within 25 miles of Nashville, telling them about this great event, and here's a link to use my promo code. Or what you do here is you could do a video here introducing yourself, talking about the event. You could also do it in your stories, talking about the event, which is good. Yes, sir. You are if you've installed a pixel, a Facebook pixel or a Google ad pixel. You can do Tag Manager. That's just how to install pixel on website. We'll be able to do it for you. But yes, you want to drive people to something that you own. The ultimate goal, like when you go to my website, I have one goal. And by the way, all the visuals look good too. Yeah, so I know you're just starting on it. So if you go to rickbarker.com. Okay. My mission is to affect millions of people with songs I didn't write by managing artists and helping them get their music out into the world with tools that are readily available. Are you ready for a manager? As soon as they click on that, they go to a funnel. I'm not going to sit here and teach you about funnels, but they go to a funnel. If they want to go down, recommended resources, get a copy of my book. They get a copy of my book. They're in a funnel. Okay, so right up here, this little guy here, that's a ClickFunnels page it's supposed to. So this Pixel Helper, so now my pixels broke on this page, so I'll be able to go in, but let me go back to the main page. Okay, so up here, this is a Chrome plugin, and it just lets you know that there's a pixel on this page. So I can take anybody that's been to this page. We just moved everything from one ClickFunnels account to another, so that was good because now I'm able to see that that wasn't there. When we go to the podcast page, when I send people to go listen to my podcast, I encourage them to go to rickbarker.com. Actually, who's used Rachel to get pictures here yet? Has anybody used Rachel? She did all my pictures for me too, except I paid her a lot of money for them. I didn't get that homie discount that day. All right, so these episodes, so this is where I want them to come get these episodes. I want them to come read the notes here. I want them to come do all this stuff here. You know, boom, they can go I'll get them someplace. Yes, sir. No, this is actually Podcast Player. It's Pat Flynn has a company. I don't know the name of it. It's like Podcast Player or something, but it's something he developed that we really like. Once it gives the different episodes, you go and you hit more, and it gives you the ability to download, subscribe it wherever you want. I use Anchor FM. I just moved my hosting over to Anchor. I like it because people can go now and send me video message or audio messages, and I can use those as Q&As. So I sent out a e-blast that said, want to be featured in my podcast? And now people send me questions, and it just helps me cover time in my podcast to be able to answer those questions. The podcast, it plays at the bottom here anyway. But somebody else, their website, yes ma'am, you want me to go to? Okay. I can go wherever you want. Okay, hold on. And her real name is Zelda. I'm not just making that up when I talk to her. Okay, go ahead. Love Your Voice Coaching.com. .coach. There you go. So you're definitely going to need to send people there. And hold on. At loveyourvoicecoaching.coach. You want me to look at your Instagram or your website? Okay. I'm like, woman? I was, but I was just on a website, so, yeah, hold on. We're good. Okay, Instagram, Love Your Voice Coaching. Love Your Voice Coaching. Love Your Voice offers the best techniques, tools, and strategies to help you sing and speak with power. Okay, I like your little one statement, but you got a whole bunch more real estate that you could use there. So you may want to put a microphone emoji. Emojis work really good for whatever reason in bios. They just kind of get people's attentions. Love Your Voice Coach. Sends me right to her website. Solid. Don't like the fact that you haven't done stories, but you just learned about that tonight, so you'll start doing stories. If you did, I'd be able to go in here and see them. So you should be going on stories doing vocal tips. You should be doing without asking them anything. You should just go provide value. Go reverse engineer and hack Brett Manning over at Singing Success. Brett's getting much better at his socials. So voice tip message, measure your vocal range. Hashtag singing tips, good. Measure your vocal range, measuring voice teacher, voice lessons, singing lessons, professional vocalists sing like a pro. These are all good. They're solid hashtags. This was a week ago. Well, you only have 55 followers. So here's what I would do right now. I would start going. Now you got 56. Hold on, let me get you. Okay. I would go. Maybe because I'm on Safari, possibly. Yeah, I'll get there. So go follow other people that are following singers. Go follow those singing app kids, you know, Shmuel and all those little places, and go into the hashtags of there's some vocal ones. Just type in hashtag vocals and go see all those people that want to get noticed because you're a vocal coach. They'll just follow you back to follow you back. It will help get you that kind of social proof right now, but at least they're kids, you know, and then you go in, and the coolest part now, coolest thing you can do right now, there's certain things that I do that's not scalable. And what that means is I can't automate it. I can't do it in massive amounts of numbers. But what we're starting to see is the payoff. Okay, so don't worry about what I just did. I have a platform called Zoom. I can run practice in, and I run practice, and it's not going to go live, but it also allows me to share my phone. So that's why it's the easiest and quickest way for me to be able to share my phone. Hit share, double click the phone. Come on, here we go. Trust. Oh yeah, I just felt the beat. Sometimes you can use QuickTime Player too, and it'll show you. Beeping like it's asking me something, but it's not. It's trying. Come on. We prompted your iPhone. No, you have not prompted my iPhone. We're getting your signal. Hold on. Boy, it's trying. I think it's because it's trying to go through the TV. Okay, well, here, I'll just show it to you this way. So on Instagram, I'm going to go in. You're going to see that if I go down here to the heart at the bottom, recently, Alex Draper Milan started following me. Is Alex here? Okay. I'm going to follow Alex. I'm going to go click on Alex. And Alex is a singer, has 782 followers. I'm going to follow him back. I'm going to go check this picture of him and his dog. Okay, so I just kind of looked at something that was this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Alex and I'm going to hit message. Then I'm going to go to the little camera that's down here at the bottom. Hey, Alex, it's Rick Barker, man. Thanks for the follow. Love that picture of you and your dog. What's their name? I got my dog, Bo. I'll share a picture of Bo with you sometime. Just curious as to how you found me and if there's any way that I can serve you when it comes to your music. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, so now I put keep in chat, and I send this to him. Do you think that's more special than me just following him back? Okay, now here's the cool part about this. Once he comes back and says something, I can have a virtual assistant that can send a link, because I can send links inside of messages. I can't send links inside of comments. Hey, man, I followed you because I love what you got going on with social media. Great, here's a link to a free social media training. called socialmediaformusic.com. Boom, guess what? Now I just got his email if he ends up going and getting on that. So when you have fans, so we tried this with Maddie. Everything I do, I try. It was like, hey, how did you find out about me? They did it. Oh, cool. What's your favorite song? You know, now she's just having it. I wanted to see how many touch points we had to have before we could lead them to someplace. And the question that we led them to was, did you know I had a full-length CD? And she's sitting there, here, I've been, you know, just totally staged it. But yeah, here, would you like me to say, oh, yes. So then she did a poll, an Instagram poll. How many of you know that I have a CD? Yes or no? No. Would you be interested in getting, so then everybody who says anything in those polls, you click on either yes or no, it opens up everybody who responded. Engaged or not engaged? Engaged. So then we go in and we start following those people. Then we go take a quick look at something. If it looks like someone who's going to a lot of concerts or shows or supporting other artists, somebody that might be us interested in having a deeper conversation with, hey, I noticed you go to a lot of concerts. What's your favorite? Oh my gosh, I love that artist too. What's your favorite song? Every time you have a conversation and they respond back, you're one step closer to a t-shirt sale, in my opinion. You're one step closer to an autographed CD sale. You're one step closer to something. So the only person holding us back from that relationship building process is usually us. So that's why I like to teach these tools. It's like strategies are great. You know, I'll teach you all the strategies in there, and then I'll send you here to buy my course for 97 bucks. You know, it's like I go strategy, strategy, strategy. Here's now how we have all the tactics. Strategy, strategy, strategy. So it's like what you're doing is give, 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 jab, 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 and a right hook, man. We got to go get them at that point. I want to introduce you guys to someone. Wishmaster, raise your hand. So he's like one of the original OGs when it comes to the beat game, where they were selling beats online. We got to speak at a panel together, and he also teaches at Remington College. He created a course there. He's now, I want you to come up here and kind of, if you mind sharing your story a little bit about now how you're having to figure out this whole internet thing, because it's not like it used to be when you could just go and get Tech 9 in the studio and mix some records. So I'm going to drop this.
I didn't know I was gonna fucking do this.
I didn't know you were either.
That's all good. All right, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got it.
I guess I could talk about myself first. I'll just kind of give a little. All right, so I'm a Grammy-nominated music producer. Worked with some of the biggest artists in the world. Anybody heard the song "I'm on a Boat"? All right, I produced that. Tech 9, Nelly, T-Pain, Lil Wayne, yeah, Rick Ross, whoever. But anyways, so I'm one of the originators of, has anybody heard of online leasing beats? Or buying, does anybody produce in here? Any songwriters? How many of you songwriters reach out to producers and actually write songs to sell? Do you do it to pitch to artists, or do you do it to actually pitch online to up-and-coming artists? Yeah, I'm talking to you, because you. Okay, so there's everybody who's, I know he always talks about this, everybody who's born is being born into an artist, right? And everybody wants to make it in the business. You can turn your business into writing hooks for up-and-coming artists to use on their projects, and more than one artist can actually use that same track. So it's a way to make money, but it's also a way to get your name out there. That's what I basically do. I sell my music online to more than one person. So the same beat can be sold to 1 million other people. Does that make sense? So it's not exclusive. It's just a lease. So I could sell a lease for 25 bucks, or I could sell exclusive for 1,000 to 10,000. I make more money on $25 than I do on $10,000. So it's something I originated back in, I don't even say how old I am, but yeah, so it's something I did a long time ago, and then I came back to it 2 years ago, and I started getting into the funnel game. Anybody have a funnel in here? Does anybody know what a funnel is? Cool. All right, so I'll explain a funnel. Basically is right here, there you go, your hook. Then you give a story, and then you either give something an offer, or you get something for free. Okay, so I basically give people free beats, and I give them free beats to make money with. So I say these are royalty-free, meaning you can go use my track, and you can release it on Spotify, and you don't have to pay me any royalties. Pretty good deal, right? Wishmaster with a Y. Yeah, it's Wishmaster. That's my producer name. Yeah. And so you go get those 5 beats, you can release them on Spotify, but then after you opt in with your email, then you're gonna go to my offer page. And my offer page is saying, well, now I'm gonna give you 30 beats with unlimited rights, and I'm gonna throw these bonuses, and I'm gonna give you, you know, a Guitar Center discount or anything to appeal to an artist, basically. And by doing that, I don't know, my social media is blowing up. We can pull up mine too if you want. I've gained more fans. I just got, I think, 13 placements this year with major artists, just because they saw my hustle and grind. They knew who I was, but they're like, oh my God, like this dude's all over the place. It's because they found me on social, just from marketing. That's it. I was just doing marketing.
It used to be, that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah,
So now everyone's making beats.
exactly.
Now everyone's kind of got their people.
Yeah.
By this, now they're seeing there's a lot of producers out there right now
Oh, yeah.
too. So what's going to make him cut?
Exactly.
Ads. Now having to realize, shit, I gotta wake up every day.
Yeah, so yeah, now it's marketing. I didn't market before. Basically, I already had a name. Like, people knew who I was, so I was like, I put a track up, and they're like, oh shit, he just dropped something. We're gonna throw money at him. Now it's like, oh, this is a Lil Wayne type beat, or DaBaby, or whoever is popular right now. And then now I have to market to those people, and then I have to run ads to them, and whoever likes that type of artist, I have to, you know, send that track to them. The biggest thing too is, well, he was talking about the social. I respond to everyone. I don't care who leaves a response. I don't care if you say something like, can I swear? I won't now, because I just told myself. If you leave a bad comment, I'm still going to say something nice. I always take the higher ground. I don't ever go at somebody if they say like, oh, this is bullshit, you're just trying to do that. I say, no, it's not. It's actually not. And I explain it to them. I always take the higher ground. I always leave a comment to somebody else, and that just boosts my social media. All right. What else have I done? On all the sport platforms. I didn't have to do that before. You know, YouTube has probably been my biggest monster to get through, but it's totally feasible. Did you guys know you can pay a cent to put your video in front of some of the biggest artists in the world? Did you know that? It costs a penny. You pay Google a penny to run a video before your whatever video you're trying to be in front of, and they have to watch 5 seconds, and you pay a penny. If they don't watch 5 seconds, they skip it. You guys ever go into a YouTube video and you skip that little thing? Okay, that's a bumper ad. That's a penny, or 2 cents for.
Certain
Yeah.
people will let you put ads in front of them.
Yeah.
What I started doing was going and finding hey, wait, before you watch Adam's video,
Yeah.
and I'll call him out by name. If you're here because you want to be an artist, hit me up here.
Right.
And Adam loved it. He's like, dude, you keep showing. I go, I know, your videos do really well for me right now. You know? It's
Yeah,
like,
because he's getting monetized.
well,
Yeah.
because what I had to do was this. It's like when I was talking about being different. I pay a lot of money to be coached by you're not on YouTube right
Marriage.
now. You need to get on YouTube. You need to do this. And I'm like, I don't want to be on YouTube. Here are the 5 keys to this. And well, and I mean, and I had to do that. And I kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and finally I came to myself. So what I do very well is I tell stories. I simplify very complicated things you need to do. I've linked below in the description box. Go see Adam Ivy or Damian Keys or whoever at that point. Hey, you know, if you're into beats, let me hook you up here. I just did a YouTube Live. First YouTube Live I'd ever done on somebody else's works beats. Over 600 and something thousand subscribers on YouTube. Got over 200 hip hop producers actually. Every day they're like, hey, you said to DM you, because what I did is I said, hey, you guys want to hook up? And it worked. So I didn't send them to my website. I sent can send them to another lead magnet. That no matter how great we think our stuff is, we get it out there. It's like that's why I was wearing recently. I did a video. And I know, and people who don't understand capitalism don't understand what that means. Capitalism means that the market put it into the market, and if they buy it, you get paid. If they don't buy it, you starve. There's no government that's just going to feed you if it don't work. You know, it's like the market decides. I'm like, don't wait for the record man. No. Don't wait for the producer. Don't wait for me. Throw it out there. See if the market likes it. And if they don't, maybe it sucks. Maybe you need to fix it. Because a lot of times we're throwing stuff into the world before we're ready. So I'm going to get him back here at another time to really do a whole thing. I want him to connect with Logan more. It was more selfish for me to bring him here just I wanted to give a tour at home. Because I think he'd be great for the community here. And I think they would really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, the last thing I will say is stick
Yeah, go
out.
ahead, ask a
Oh,
question.
sorry, go ahead. Yeah, that's good. Wishmasterbeats.com with a Y, not an I. I didn't want to get sued by the horror movie.
Yeah, hold on. I'll pull it up.
And then real quick, I'm going to say, it doesn't matter how good your music is, it does not matter. And I hate to say that.
Wishmasterbeats.com?
Wishmasterbeats.com with a Y. You have to do some sort of marketing. Does that make sense? All right, or else you're going to doubt yourself your entire life, like I did. I was always like, oh, I suck. And it wasn't because my music wasn't good. It was because I didn't get it in front of the right people. So do some type of marketing. Yeah, so as a songwriter, you write a chorus, and then you sell that beat with the chorus to artists, and you license it for, it can be like $50 to $100, but they don't own it. You still get your publishing, but you can sell it to more than one person. Yeah, it's a huge, huge market.
But be careful, because once if you go through CD Baby or DistroKid, you put it up on Spotify and get paid for it, but if you try to put it up on a YouTube video, most of the time it'll get claimed by the guy who originally produced it. So if you've got 100 people with the same track, and you're like, dude, my song just got claimed by somebody. It's usually
it's the copyright part. Yeah.
So.
But you're still good. Yeah, you can still make a lot of money.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so I'm going to introduce you guys to one more person. Martin, come here for a second. So Martin, I'll let Martin tell you a little bit about himself, but Martin and I became friends by way of the internet. One of his heads, the guy who used to do his marketing, Dion, is I think how we met. It was like Dion.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, how many of you guys have ever heard of Graham Cochran, Recording Revolution? Okay, so Graham is just 10 years. He's been, helping people mix things, and he had a video of him recording a complete song on an iPhone that did really well. And through Graham, I met one of his marketing guys who said, I was looking for someone, and I say this respectfully, and I know we're live on Facebook right now too, but I was looking for someone who had a team that had current hits. There were a lot of people out there teaching songwriters how to write songs that hadn't had a hit in a while. And I said, I want somebody who's a little bit more diverse that I could find. He's like, you've got to meet Martin. So I met Martin and started sharing his stuff. And then last May, he's like, hey, I'm coming to Nashville. And I said, great, let's set up an event, but I can't stay there. I'm flying out that day, but I'll get you hooked up. So we got him hooked up and we got him here. But how have you, because you went, well, you can tell them a little bit, but where I kind of want you to cover is that it used to be where you made all your money writing songs, and now you're doing things a little different using the internet.
Well, it was, thanks for having me. It was real interesting. I've been a songwriter and producer in the music business for 25 years. I started out as a busker on the streets. A busker is an English word for a street performer. I don't know if you have the same word here. So I started off literally singing for change on the street and climbed my way up the ladder of songwriting and ended up selling a few million records for people like the Backstreet Boys, Leanne Rimes, a bunch of other artists. And I kind of fell into songwriting, into teaching, just by accident, really. But 5 years ago, I wanted to do something super, super special. And I created, I wanted to, how important it is to give to people, and then everybody wins. And so I wanted to give new songwriters everything that I wished that I'd had when I first started out. And it was, you know, everything from songwriting tuition, understanding about making great demos, great production, understanding the music business, the opportunity to actually get the songs in front of people, the whole thing. And nobody else was doing this space. You know, there were universities doing courses. As you've rightly pointed out, you know, what I did is I sort of surrounded myself with people. It's the Branson approach. You surround yourself with people that know what they're doing. So I don't know everything about the music business. You know, I don't know everything about social media. This has been a real eye-opener for me tonight. You know, I'm a fluffy songwriter. And, but I... Yeah.
The way you say it sounds so fluffy.
Fluffy. Hashtag fluffy. Actually, no, it sounds like a porn name. So I surrounded myself with great people from the music business. And I realized last year we've got the most successful music faculty in the world now. You know, collectively, we've sold nearly 750 million records and sort of over 5 billion streams. But our whole goal is to give people stuff. It's like not to ask. You know, you were saying when people, the first thing they do when they come to you on Facebook is like, hey, will you like my video? Will you, you know, it's like going up to someone in a pub. You're sitting in a pub and I go up to you and go, will you like me? Will you follow me? You know, it's fucking weird. It is really, really weird. So, you know, but ask people what you can give them and you will get so much more back by offering. And you know what? The first thing they're going to do is remember you. That's the key thing. When I do courses, a bunch of different courses. We do everything from like one-day courses to like entire year programs. But when I do my one-day... And yes, we rent an entire village in Spain for a week and we bring songwriters out there. Yeah. It is insanely fantastic, but we do that 3 times a year. But I'm actually here in Nashville to scope out retreat venues as well, to do the similar thing here as well. But yeah, when people have come up to me at the end of courses and said, hey, can I help you take your banners down? And it's like, I remember those people because they're offering to give something. So, you know, my advice to everybody that's trying to get somewhere in the music business is do what you're doing now. Get out and actually meet people. You know, turn up, show up for something. Don't absolutely depend on social media. You can't beat this face-to-face interaction. And ask people what you can do for them, you know, before you ask what they can do for you as well. It's the hippie, I'm a bit of an old hippie. It's the hippie approach, you know, just be a really, really good person. Yes, you've got to have the business surrounding as well. You know, we have a funnel as well in what we do, in as much that we have people come to our one-day courses. A whole day with me teaching in London is 27 quid. £27 for an entire day, which... 37 bucks, yeah, the equivalent, something like that. So which is nothing for a whole day, but what it enables people to do is to test your quality because people will see through bullshit. And, you know, we've been going for 5 years now. We've got an amazing reputation with not only on that side of the pond, but ASCAP and BMI behind us here because they know that we talk the talk, that we walk the walk. So show them that you know what you can do. Show them quality, give them quality, don't expect anything back, keep giving them quality, and then people will become loyal. Well, all of your listeners are customers, aren't they? They'll become loyal customers of yours, and they will learn to trust you and love you. And the more they trust you, the more they'll want to do business with you.
Well, and that's why I said earlier is that right now they can get your music for free. What they're investing in is the relationship with you. And that's why social media...
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. It's just it's a way for you to get up every day and have all different parts of the world watching right now. I can't physically go to all those countries. Has his retreat in Spain. I've got to be someplace else. He can pipe me in from Nashville. I get up. I have a cup of coffee. I remember one time I went on his Facebook page and spoke for 2 hours, and there was no offer. But guess what? When he sent an email out for people to come buy my program, guess who was one of the biggest audience? Why? Because I went and I loved on him first. You know, and I think that's what we forget sometimes. We get so caught up in this now moment that we need it right now. Really, it's like, I was telling somebody the other day, it's like, as soon as I go on and I say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and they're like, bro, you gonna be my manager? I'm like, no, I manage a lot of people. I've got the shit, you know, and I'm like, cool. It's like, and I show them in my management. Now I've structured my business different. There's a couple of management clients in here where I can manage because I eliminated, I'm not doing their calendar. I'm not doing day-to-day. Strategy, big picture, accountability. You know, with the social media stuff, it's like, let's start you there. You know, let's make sure the number one thing is let's get your songs registered properly. So before I teach you how to put them out in the world, we make sure they're registered so you get paid. Yeah. Too often we record and we, whoo, and then we're like, I ain't made nothing. Yeah. No one knows who to pay. $2 billion sitting out there of unclaimed royalties. So you're a different group because you're here, but we got to remember it's the music, business. Don't forget the business. Right now, I say this respectfully to all the creators in here. Part of it now. Everyone's making music. Everyone can put out. My mother-in-law can put a song up on iTunes tonight, and Nana can't sing. But Nana's going to get in the way. You know, there's so many people getting in the way. So how are we going to stick out? That's what I want you to leave with tonight. Is that what is my superpower? What is my gift? Is it poetry? Is it painting? Taylor loved doodads. She loved to doodle things. She loved to just go in and talk. Where can you, somebody, I said they cry, they buy. You've written a song. You've had somebody pass away from cancer, and you've written a song about that. You should be in those support groups on Facebook right now. I've seen the ads everywhere. There's a group for everything. You should be in there loving on people, relating to them, and then when the time is right, and you'll know to say, you know what? I love the fact that I'm a songwriter. I was able to write a song about my mother. Yeah. Then you don't say, do you want to hear it? You shut up. You bite your tongue and you shut up. And they're like, wait, I want to hear that song that you wrote. Now it's become their idea. We're the people that go in and shout the end of the movie before the movie ends. We don't want to be that. We want to go in and let it become their idea. But all of you, the one thing that makes you different, all of you have a story. All of you have a struggle. The struggle's real. When you watch American Idol, which all of you said you don't do, but if you ever decided to watch a show like that, you're going to notice the stories come before the music. Yeah. They want to grab a hold of you in some way, and then they want to let you. Having a lot of fun right now. Go ahead,
can I say something on that? I've just spent a week in New York, and one of the nights I was there, I had dinner with some good friends of mine. There's two songwriters, fantastic woman called Tanya Lee and her husband Arnie Roman. Now Arnie Roman has sold 80 million records as a songwriter. Okay, he's written so many hits for Celine. We had this big discussion about artists today, and in total agreement about how important authenticity is, but knowing who you are. Knowing who you are, because there are people that will go, well, you know, I'm seeing all of these girls doing the jazz hands on Instagram, etc., but I'm a bit shy, and so when they do it, it looks completely fake. My advice, you know, when we have artists coming through the academy, one of the bits of advice that we give is like, create a brand document of who you are, and write down some adjectives that describe who you are. Ask your friends for adjectives that describe who you are. And if they say bashful, a little bit dark, a little bit intense, you know, then fucking go with that. Because if that's who you are, then give the public that. Don't try and do the West End Wendy, you know, jazz hands to people if that's not you. Have the photographs where you're looking away from the camera. The lighting's a little bit moody, you know, but embrace who you are, know who you are. Love who you are, embrace who you are, and tell everybody who you are. Don't try and be someone you're not.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I've forgotten the name. Songwritingacademy.com.
Academy.
That's right, U.S. Yeah, I forgot. He's got two, one for UK, one for U.S.
And if you guys want cards and
Hold on, write it. You're talking too damn fast. Go ahead.
Okay, here we
And then your accent just screws everything up. I had to do that with Karan from Avora Now.com, who's got a great Instagram page. If you guys don't follow him, it's Avora Now.com. And he does amazing stuff, and it's Karan Beggy or something like that, and he says it real fast. I'm like, dude, you got to slow down. I said, all of you guys with accents talk so fast, because this was the first podcast he'd ever did. I said, spell it out, make it happen. Here we go.
The Songwriting Academy.
So you can go on there. You'll enter his funnel. You can go on to Wishmasters. You'll enter his funnel. And then you can go to socialmediaformusic.com and enter my funnel. Follow me on Instagram, @RickBarkerMusic. So here's what's going to happen when this goes up. So Logan, are we still okay time-wise? Yeah. Okay, are you guys cool? Okay, so what a funnel does, let's just go. See, I tried to leave. Look what happened, a pop-up. So here's the thing, phone number. Man. Creeper. You creeper. That's real advanced. Now, I would love to know if you moved the phone number down and didn't make that the first point of entry, if you got just a name and an email first. Okay, cool. All right. So this, free training for singers and songwriters, how to get your music heard and build a loyal fan base so that you can turn your passion and gifts into a full-time music career as an artist without a record label. So I'm using a video platform called Vidlytics. So what this does is, I hate when I start a video and it won't let me go through, but if I have to start over, it starts over at the beginning, so this one allows it. I don't want people to scroll through. I want them to watch it in its entirety, but it resumes pick up. So okay, so that's my hook, I'm telling my story, and then the offer. Here's just a taste of what you'll discover. This picture shot here by Rachel. I did the 1, the 2, the 3. I have them all, so I've got a 5-day challenge coming up soon, and every day you're going to be like, it was fun. We shot it right in here. Okay, so then, yes, I want to get my music heard and build a loyal fan base. Okay, so the reason that I'm sharing also my stuff with you guys is because I want you to think like a marketer. So here's where, I told you I pay a lot of money. This webinar was killing it, so I thought. So I sent it to the guy. I'm like, he says, I want to go through your social media for music campaign. I sent him the pages, everything that he went through, and he came back, and boy, he was not as impressed with me as I was impressed with me. And he shot a 30-minute video, and he goes, I can't believe you sold anything. What? He says, you're giving away too much information. He said, you're leaving them no reason to go to your course. You can do better serving them without giving away all your stuff. He said, too, you're talking about all the stuff. Nobody cares about the stuff. They care about the results. So the reason I say that is nobody cares about your song. They care about the emotion that your song is going to give them. And sometimes if things aren't working, we have to take a look. So he goes, no. So now you see, get more fans. Woo, gain popularity. I had to tease them because they're always like, become Instagram famous. I said, I can't use that word. I don't like to tease. He goes, no, we'll make it for you, because everybody else who sees your business, they come up with these great words. Get the attention of all the major record labels. Dude, if I could sell that, I'd be selling it like crack. I'd be out on the street right now. I'd be like multi-billionaire if that was the thing. But he's a marketer, so I had to tone him down a little bit. So then once you go into this, then you immediately go in and you get to watch a webinar. And then during the webinar is part of what I showed you earlier. And then towards the end, after I've given you some stuff and got you nodding your head a lot and taking notes, it's like, hey, if you want to really go deep, I couldn't share everything with you in 42 minutes. I created a course. It's $97 one time. And you get everything I know up to this point, and then what I just recently added on. So everybody who buys the 97 this Saturday from 11 to 2, I'm going on for 3 hours, and I'm letting people, I'm just going to go look at their socials like I was looking at yours. Do you know why I'm doing that? Anybody know why? One, it's just cool, and it's great reciprocity to do that. But three is I'm going to have 3 solid hours of video content that I can break into little 1-minute pieces and use that on social, solving people's problems and then driving them to the funnel. All it is going to be is it's going to become social proof. They're going to see me helping somebody. Here's the thing, and I say this respectfully. I'm not just somebody that can help little blonde chicks that wanted to do country music. What I teach, I don't manage genres, I manage people. So right now, I've been spending a lot of time inside the hip-hop world. And I'll tell you why. Because they've always understood the hustle. The pop kids and the country kids, 90% of the time, they're lazy. They've always had the outlets. They've always had the radio opportunity. They always had the performance opportunities. They've always thought that if they get discovered, something could happen. But the Nipsey Hussles, the Lil Waynes, the Chance, all those guys just went out on any corner that somebody would listen to them, they played. Anybody that would take their music, they gave them their music. All they did was just go around. And that's the mentality that the pop and country world need to get. The rock guys, the same way. They've always been out, gig, 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 gig. I remember when somebody came into the radio station the first time, a country artist, and I said, hey, why don't we ever see them play? And they're like, well, they don't have enough material. And I'm like, what? You signed an artist that can't play for 30 minutes? They're like, well, they got this great song. Because I was used to the rock world where those guys would play for hours and stuff like that. So the thing that I'm really wanting you to understand is out hustle. Okay, but hustle in the right places. I'm a huge Gary Vee fan, okay? But I don't agree that you should just be hustling to hustle. You better hustle with a purpose. You better know what it is that you're going after. Too often, we're chasing this kind of stuff. You know, if you're not a member of a community like Home, Home's a great place to be able to meet your future collaborators. You're not going to get, if you're a songwriter in country, sorry, Miranda Lambert's not looking for your song today. She's got a group of people that she looks at, but you know what? She might be. And the band Chris might be, Elise might be. You know, find the people in your space. I love telling the Luke Combs story. Luke Combs came to town, you know, big writers. He wrote with his people. He went to all the listening room and all that stuff. For the last 2 years, there's been a lot of guys getting their first #1 plaque because they wrote with Luke when Luke got here and didn't know anybody. They met their own people. They didn't come here trying to get on radio. They came here to get their songs right. Sometimes you guys are rushing the process. Patience is a very valuable word. Unless you got the cure to cancer, slow down. We don't need it today. But if you got the cure, or coronavirus, if you got the cure of the coronavirus, we'll take that right now. But your song, let's get it right. Let's get the songs right and things like that. Any other questions before we network a little bit? And then anybody who wants to help fold chairs, that would be great. Anybody that post, tag me. Yes, sir. Yeah, we tried earlier with our woman here. Were you listening, paying attention? Another one? Sure. Would you like a hook story offer for Home? Who is she? She isn't asking. She doesn't get it if she don't ask. I know who you are, but you've got to ask. Okay. Okay, and then what's it about? Your own what? Okay, so what might be a good visual hook? Something with the angel and the devil, maybe something visual like that? What's that? I try not to. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. So that's a great hook, and you might get the wrong audience. Once again, so basically, when we talk about good and evil, what are we talking about? We all know the difference between right or wrong, okay? But sometimes we want to test it maybe a little bit. So let's come up with something that if I was just scrolling through and I saw something, you know, Do they know what you did? Like some lady was asking me the other day, she said, I can't get anyone to open my emails. I said, all you need to do in the subject line is push, did you know these pictures were out there? That email's getting opened. So there's our hook. You know, it's like, so think of something like that. It can be comic. Is the song coming from a disturbed place? Is there a happy ending? It's like, I don't know enough about the song. That's why I want you to come up with the hook. But if you give us stuff, we're all smart. Martin can help. You see what he's asking, though? It's a really good question for all you songwriters. A lot of you are just writing words. So think about for a second the end result of what you want the listener to feel. So you even just said that. Just think about if we stopped there. Which do you choose? Good or evil? You could even add good or evil, because a lot of times you're going to try to run ads to it. Facebook won't let you because it just stops with the question sometimes. They hate clickbait, okay? So, which would, I think wood's a good answer too, right? Which would you choose? Think about, because then they're going to have to see more, because now Facebook only gives you 2 lines, and now you got to, which would you choose? Or something like that. That would be, you got to have a hook, but you get the idea. This is your hook. Okay? There. That dress on the internet, that dress forever. And then make it neither one, so that they're sitting there just staring at it forever, and Facebook sees they didn't move, and algorithm says, they're really hooked on this thing. Yeah. No, so we got to give them something that's going to get their attention. Then the story. The story starts with, have you ever felt? Not, I felt this way, and that's where a lot of times as artists you talk in the I. It's like, have you ever felt? Have you ever wondered? Have you ever thought? Have you ever experienced? I know exactly how you're feeling, and that's what inspired this song. That's all you have to say, something real short and real sweet. Now they're going to go, well, I want to hear that song. Yeah, I've experienced that. So when you talk to them, you bring them into the conversation. When we talk about it's like, you know, I would tell people, you'll come to me because of Taylor, but you better be asking what I've done for artists like you. You better be asking who's having success right now. You know, because when I left Taylor, we didn't even have Instagram yet. You know, everything I teach on Instagram, I did on my own. I don't teach MySpace anymore. I'd be broke. But, you know, I teach common sense. I always said, I wish I could get commonsense.com. It's just be nice to people. Bring value to them. Always think about what Martin just said. What's the emotion? What's the feeling we want them to get from this song? Not that I can hit high notes, or not that this is the raddest guitar solo I've ever heard, or, man, did you hear where that drop came in? And you know, nobody cares but you at that point. We need to start thinking more about them. And then the offer is just basically, listen to the song. Yep. It does if you're paying for it. See, I said don't put links in if you're not paying for it. If you're paying for it, guess what? Part of it is, where do you want them to go? You're paying for it, where do you want to send them? So I would send them back to my website to that song. I would create a page just for that song. I would not throw them to the website and let them get, because most artists' website have so much crap going on, they would be lost. It's like you want to send them directly to something. Like right now, my Facebook ad runs exactly to that opt-in video that you just saw. I didn't walk down, I mean, I tested it both ways. I had one in front of a whiteboard. It did really well. But when I got them right to the page, let them see the plaques. See, I was doing it before. I wasn't in front of the plaques. And all of a sudden, Todd's like, look at all this crap behind you. You know, it's like, sure, it says this. He goes, marketer, he goes, here's what I would do. I'd go out and buy plaques. I'd go out and get something that says, world's best manager. You know, he's just making shit up that was going through. It's like, so I take my phone and I shoot a picture of that corner. I go, will that corner work? He's like, dumb shit. Why weren't you in that corner in the first place? Because I get tired of being in front of those plaques. But you know what? That's who you guys want to learn from. It's the psychology in all of this. So what I would do is I would test two things. One, I would test an image, get some really kick butt image. I would test same hook, image, going to the same place, same hook, maybe video, a little bit of video, going to the same call to action. You only ever want to change one variable. Okay, sometimes it's like, well, this one worked really good. Yeah, but you had different stuff. So you would do this same thing with this and this. And just test it out, because some people respond to pictures, some people respond to videos. Videos, you could always go back and retarget that audience later. So I would try a couple different ways. But in the image, got to be as compelling here, which wants to get them through, because which would you choose? That's not where you stop. You still have to type your story now. So now you have to write out your story, or you can do story in video and see how that kind of works. Yes, ma'am. Have you shared your song every day? Hell yeah. Yeah, no, I would share it multiple times a day. Because the worst thing that's going to happen, somebody scrolls by it. Yeah, not everything you post gets seen. Okay? So if you just post it once and algorithm only let a few people, no, you got to post it. I would have to post 40 times a day on Twitter hoping you saw one. I don't know that you were just glued to your phone. You better be glued to your phone waiting for Rick Barker post. You know what I'm saying? No, we're busy. So we got to do it often. We got to do it often. No, here's the cool part. If I've engaged with your stuff on multiple times, guess what? If we're on Facebook, for example, Facebook's going to go show it to somebody who hasn't. They're going to already say, Rick's taken care of. We don't want to piss Rick off. We want Rick to buy the Ugg boots that he's looking at for his wife's anniversary, because we know he was on Amazon looking at Ugg boots. So all these are, so they're not going to piss me off. So they're going to go show it to her. She hasn't seen it yet. They don't know that it's the same post because they didn't see it. You need to go to socialmediaformusic.com. Yes, sir. I have an email that goes out every month that says unsubscribe already, because I pay for everyone to be there. And then usually what happens is they tell me their sob story on their whole life being changed and why they haven't opened my emails. And then they, okay, I missed something. What do you got to sell? It's just, we don't want to be everything for everyone. The thing is you got to remember, when you go to your Facebook page and you see, like if I went on my personal public figure page and I saw the same 10 posts, to me I'd be going, oh my gosh, they're the same 10 posts. Nobody's been on my page. We hope to show up in their feed. Remember, it's their feed that we're looking at. So right now, if I sit on Instagram, so let's say that you just post something. So if I'm on Instagram right now and I just scroll the feed, guess what? Gone already. So I'm going to scroll down. Hi, Natasha. Hey, Dolan. There's Alyssa. There's Jordan. Okay, saw some cool stuff. Then if I go and swipe it again, guess what? Natasha's, now we go here, which is cool. Look at all these live people. Let's go see it. It's one of my clients. See all the hearts she's getting? She chose, yeah. I'll see if she'll let me come live. We'll see if she'll let me come live. Just talking to her fans. She's got 13. She's accepted my request. Hello, girl. Hey, say hi to everybody. I'm teaching a class. Yeah, but hey, but now look at your followers jump. You guys notice she went from 13 followers, now she's got 21? So you're not an experiment. Somebody was asking if they could post too much on Instagram, and I was like, oh, see how fast it changes? And then I looked up, I'm like, oh, Emily's live. Let's just go watch her live. So I clicked on, and there you were. Say hi to everybody. Yeah, that's a pretty cool room. Yeah, so good. Great. Sooner rather than later, you need to get on a call. Good. Okay. Good. We got it. I'm sending out the March list here in the next couple days. Good to see you. Thank you for picking up. All right. Be good. See ya. Bye-bye. Okay. So then I just go here. I leave the conversation, and we go done. And there's the delay. So there you guys are. So how fun is that? You know what I'm saying, though? It's another way for you to get to interact. It's another way for them to get to see her personality. You know, she sees all you guys. It's like, there was more people here than were on her live. But then all of a sudden it shows up on mine. But guess what? That live's going to live for 24 hours. So when you go in and you look, and you're just like, man, 289 people saw this. When's the last time any of you played in front of 289 people? The world, every day. Is your stage. Yes, sir. There's a cool app right now, too. It's called MixCam, and it's a forward-facing. So I'm going to shoot a video real quick. Here we go. And I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. It's very funny when it's done. So I found this. I was walking across. I was going through Times Square. Okay. Hey, it's Rick. Everybody say hi. Woo! There we go. Yes, just so crazy. But if you look, here's what it looks like. It's showing me, and it's showing them. So if you're on stage, you could go to the crowd and do a little fan shot across and then tell everybody to tag themselves. And then when you're done, you get a video. Hey, it's Rick. Everybody say hi. So I'm experimenting with this for my Facebook ads, just for visual, to be walking around, to do things. So if I wanted to do an interview, I could have you. It shows you. It shows. So this is all the little visual stuff that's just kind of. It's called Mix, M-I-X-Cam. So it's got a bunch of different stuff. You could do pictures. There's all kinds of different. But play around with that stuff. Yes, ma'am. When we talked personally? Okay. What I was saying is that if you're going to be ultimately wanting to set up like a Shopify store, they're not playing really nice with MailChimp right now. There's like a battle. They won't even integrate with MailChimp. So I was just saying, if you're going to ultimately, like Bandzoogle right now, gives you a store. They give you a lot of stuff in their stuff, but just find an email service provider that plays nice with if you were going to do Shopify. But somebody at MailChimp pissed off Shopify. Now they won't even integrate, and that's like, yeah. So I use ConvertKit myself. What's that? Yeah, it's changed a lot. They were great for a long time because they were the only one that offered like 2,000 emails for free. And the workaround, you couldn't use an autoresponder, but the workaround is you could send your links in the thank you email. So that's how trust me, in the very beginning, I was trying to do everything I could to show everybody how to save a buck. Now, I wish I would have started teaching you guys to buy the right tools and invest in the right tools ahead of time, because now we've had to go in and change a lot of stuff because I bought into the whole starving artist thing, and now I don't anymore. It's like, you want to run a business, it costs money to run a business. You want to have the proper tools. Somebody asked me on a panel one time, what would you have done different? I said, even in my own business, I would have gotten coaching earlier. Because now I used to buy the cheapest thing that was ever offered. Now I go, what's the highest price that gets me the most access to the guy in charge? That's the one I want because it speeds up my learning curve. The process of either writing a song, having to wait 3 weeks to maybe be selected to be heard, or I just buy him as a coach and I'm able to send him songs and say, tell me what I need to change, tell me what I need to change, tell me what I need to change. So that's it. But like I said, and a lot of you are invested in yourselves. You're invested in yourself tonight. You gave the one commodity you can never get back tonight is time. So I applaud you guys for that. Last second questions or anything like that? Thank you guys for coming out. It was a pleasure having you here.